Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the top 5 mistakes remote leaders make and how to avoid them. Do you lead a remote team? If so, you know that there are unique challenges and opportunities associated with leading people who are not located in the same physical space. Here in our company, Nimbus eCommerce, all our team members work remotely. We made this decision back in year 2020 during the first lockdown, and so far it is working very well. But it wasn't that easy from the start. With the remote work becoming increasingly normal, especially when it comes to businesses trading online, it's important to be aware of the top mistakes that remote leaders make so that you can avoid them and protect your team's productivity and morale. Leading from behind the screen certainly isn't the easiest thing in the world. So I will try to share my experience with leading a remote team today. Let's take a closer look at the biggest mistakes that remote leaders make and how you can avoid them. The first and the most common one is not setting clear expectations. If your team members don't know what is expected of them, they will likely become frustrated and disengaged. To avoid this, be sure to set clear expectations for every member of your team from the outset. This means being clear about deadlines, deliverables, and exactly what you need from each team member in terms of their work. In our team here at Nimbus, everyone has his responsibilities clearly assigned to them. Each accountant has their own client base to manage. The deadlines are clearly defined and incorporated into our calendars. The next big mistakes made by remote leaders is micromanaging. If you are not clear about what you expect from your team members, you may find yourself wanting to micromanage their work in order to ensure that it meets your standards. Similarly, if you are new to remote leadership, you may feel less in control than you would in an office, and you may find yourself wanting to check in with your team every 5 seconds or becoming alarmed if they take more than 5 minutes to respond to your messages. I had a very strong tendency to micromanaging at the beginning. Being a perfectionist, I thought that no one could do things better than myself. But I quickly realized that this was not working out. It was frustrating for Nimbus team members and ultimately led them to feeling disengaged and unproductive. To avoid micromanaging, I set clear expectations up front. I gave my team members the space to do their work, and I provided regular feedback to keep them on track. The next mistake is not checking in enough. Of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum, some remote leaders only check once in a blue moon, which may be harmful for your team morale. Often team members who are struggling may not have the confidence to reach out, which is why it's so important for leaders to proactively check in. Checking in doesn't have to be a time-consuming process. A simple message checking in on a team member's progress can go a long way. The key is to strike the right balance. Checking in too much can be overwhelming, but on the other hand, checking in too little can make team members feel unimportant. I reach out regularly to my team to find out if there is anything I can do to make them feel supported. I run weekly one-on-one meetings with each of Nimbus team members, and I go through any issues they may have. We also have a team catch-up every week. This is a great way to stay connected with my team and ensure that everyone is communicating well. The next mistake is not using project management software. In the age of remote working, project management software is the best way for teams to communicate, coordinate, and stay on top of deadlines. Not using project management software can make it difficult to keep track of deadlines, assigned tasks, and progress reports. This can lead to projects falling behind schedule and team members feeling overwhelmed. There are a number of great project management software options available, so there is no excuse for not using one. A few popular options include Asana, Trello, and Basecamp. Here at Nimbus, we use Zero Practice Manager, which is more specific for the accounting profession. Carbon and Centa are great choices as well. And finally, the last mistake I'm going to talk about is not intentionally creating a company culture. Just because your company is remote, it doesn't mean that you don't need a great company culture. In fact, company culture is even more important for remote teams because it can help to create a sense of community and connection. There are a number of ways to intentionally create a great company culture for your remote team. In our company, Nimbus eCommerce, we hold regular social events like virtual happy hours or coffee chats. You can also encourage team members to connect with each other outside of work by starting a remote community, for example. This keeps the team happy and makes them feel like a valued part of a community rather than a lone remote worker. So just to summarize, if you want to be a successful remote leader, avoid making these 5 common mistakes. By setting clear expectations, striking the right balance between checking in and giving team members space, using project management software, and intentionally creating a positive company culture, you will be well on your way to leading a successful remote team. Learn from our experience. Thanks for watching and see you soon.